Shovin Bhattacharjee is a renowned artist from India, known for his work in painting, sculpture, digital art, new media art, and public art installations. He's one of the pioneers of digital art in India and was the first artist from the country to enter the NFT art auction. With 9 solo exhibitions in India and abroad, he has made a significant impact in the art world. Welcome to the show, Shovin.
Thank you so much.
You are absolutely incredibly diverse in your art practice. You have entered an NFT auction, you're a digital artist, and you're also an installation artist. This has been an incredible journey, along with being an artist, painter. So could you tell us about this journey? How did you reach Delhi from Shillong?
Yes, I'm born and brought up in Shillong, so my birthplace is such a beautiful place. I'm almost a part of nature. You can say this. So Shillong से मुझे Delhi तक आना is a very interesting and very seamless, I can say, because the beginning of my career in my childhood, in as such for me there's no role model in my city as an artist or as a child artist. So in my own house, my elder brother was practicing art, and he's my first guru in that way. His name is Shovin Bhattacharjee, and I'm following him as a Shillong and as a younger brother. I'm always following him. And another things I do, in my childhood, I'm participating in competitions, different competitions, art competitions, and I'm enjoying that competitions part because of these competitions, I'm getting prize. And one time, I'm in such in recognition in my own city. Whoever my competitor and my batchmates, whoever seeing me in my competitions, they consider they are fighting for the second and third. Always I'm deserved for the first. So that repo I'll gain within my own time. And fortunately, in my school days, the Meghalaya government, awarded me with state award. Before joining Fine Art College, I was awarded with state award. So, and then after my 10+2, because I'm from PCM background, but my inclination towards art is as such because I am convinced my father too, I want to be into Fine Art College. So although we are applied for a lot of other colleges like Shantiniketan, Baroda and other colleges also, but it's very close to our city. There's a Shilchar, it's a Ashram University, and it's a central university. So my father in somewhere, he's become confident enough. That is very close to our place. My child will be in safe zone, and he, insists me to join there. So I'll join in that Fine Art College. That Fine Art College is really, is a very interesting time over there because I remember my first class. Our teacher took our class within the dining table. There's only one dining table, and our class started. Within 3 days, the dedicated desk, every individual student के लिए dedicated desk, सब चीजें आने लगा. So I remember, even today I experience a lot of colleges I went to for different reasons, for sometimes external jury, sometimes for lectures, sometimes for other things. I never find, those dedicated desk for the student. And that is the charm of a Central University, because Central University built up over there, they're bringing a lot of new experience to the campus. And that is one of the most important experience in my life, because I am pursuing over there as a painter. I'm doing my BFA and MFA over there. So during my class, we are experiencing other things also. Like sometimes we sit in the applied class, we do applied art, we do sometimes textile, I do a lot of ceramics in my college days. So, the sculptures, everything. Basically, the student grow up with all without politics. So that part is very interesting in my life. So after finishing my MFA, my urge of learning is not over. So I'm asked my teacher, I want to pursue my course, further course. I don't want to go for any PhD or such kind of thing. तो मेरे एक टीचर ने मुझे बोला कि there is a NRLC, National Research Laboratory for Cultural Antiquities, and that is a UNESCO scholarships. आप अप्लाई कर सकते हो पर आपको मिलेगा नहीं. मैंने अपने करियर में 7 बार अप्लाई किया था, मुझे मिला नहीं. तो मैंने बोला ओके आई ट्राई. तो मैंने ट्राई किया, मुझे फर्स्ट शॉट पे मुझे मिल गया. सो दैट इज द once I did complete my BA MFA examinations, I'm not waiting for my result. मुझे immediately 10 days के अंदर मुझे NLC लखनऊ आना पड़ा मुझे conservation and cultural antiquity studies के लिए. So that conservation studies actually made me different person today. The reason is because I'm born and brought up in Shillong and Northeast, and that time is not internet era. But that time was become very isolated we are. What are the things we are lacking? That is communications. We're not having informations, getting information from other part of the India. For example, scholarships or other things. We're not informed. When we got to know, तब तक हमारी time ओवर हो जाता था. तो क्या होता था कि तो मैंने ना वहाँ पे एक्सपीरियंस किया देन दे लर्न लॉट ऑफ वेरी डिटेल मैनर. So if there's a birth of suppose for example photography, how to click the photographs, then once the photograph is generated, then what are the deterioration happen during this time, and if these are the deteriorations happen, then what are the remedies, what are the treatment procedures. So basically during this course I am that course is trained me very detailed way, which is I'm lacking in my own fine art college, जो मुझे नहीं मिला मुझे यहाँ पे मिला. मुझे इनफैक्ट तब मैंने वहाँ पे एक रिसर्च किया था, मेरे एक रिसर्च पेपर था वहाँ पे बाइंडिंग मीडिया ऑफ इंडियन पेंटिंग. सो आई विल फिगर आउट होल बाइंडर्स एंड माय guru was a Mr. Chaibrary, who was the godfather of that era because he is the one who invented lot of binders. So I remember that is experience. Then after that I realized कि during the studies I realized कि मुझे कंप्यूटर के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता. मुझे लगा कि मुझे कंप्यूटर जानना है. तो फिर back to Shillong and then I'm searching around. I'm after my brother, so कि मुझे किसी भी तरह से मुझे कंप्यूटर के कोर्स कहीं पे करवा दे. तो then I got scholarships, ISO scholarship. Then I went to Mohali, is a CDEC. So I studied over the multimedia and graphics. उस दौरान multimedia and graphics is a very expensive course. But I'm fortunate enough कि my whole course is partially sponsored and other part is sponsored by my brother, elder brother. So I did whole my graphics studies, and then after this study I got Lalit Kala Academy scholarships और मैं आके घड़ी में आ गया. So my whole journey from Shillong to Silchar and then Lucknow, then Mohali, and then finally I'm in Delhi. So I'm Delhi in Ghadi Studio, and that time Ghadi Studio is a it's an amazing space because most of the renowned artists working over there, and Ghadi में space मिलना अपने आप में एक बड़ी बात थी. And I began my career with the Ghadi. So that is really a wonderful time, and that is all about.
Shovin, it is amazing क्योंकि आपको हर स्टेप में आपकी लाइफ में आपने अवार्ड्स जीते, आपने स्कॉलरशिप्स जीती, एंड आपने जहाँ आपकी जो क्वेस्ट ऑफ नॉलेज है, द थर्स्ट फॉर नॉलेज एंड द थर्स्ट फॉर गेटिंग मोर एंड मोर एक्सपोजर टू आर्ट, इट वाज अनक्वेंचेबल. आपने कंप्यूटर्स ग्राफिक्स से लेके फ्रॉम डिजिटल आर्ट एंड फाइनली इवन आर्ट कंजर्वेशन. So you are an art conservator, which is like absolutely amazing. And what I read about you and what I know about you, you were an amazing artist. You did acrylics and you did mostly 2D on canvas. And from there on, आपकी जो progression हुआ art में from 2D and or from painting to installation, we would also like to know about that. Also, another question along with this, if you can see in your earlier paintings, you have, it's very futuristic, but in the very first painting आप अपने village को paint कर रहे हैं, फिर आप आ रहे हैं city पे, clumsy city, और फिर आप आ रहे हैं एक आपकी painting है dance, two cities, and then there is another painting which has an airplane coming from the building, and the buildings are conceptualized in green. I know a lot of questions, but आप प्लीज अपना टाइम लीजिए और हमें इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में बताइए.
Yeah, this is very interesting because I came to Delhi around 2002, last part of around this month of December. So officially you can say since 2003 onwards I am in Delhi. So Delhi, all of a sudden I came to Delhi, and Delhi is not a place for me at the beginning times, whatever I feel, because the reason is there's a lot of cultural shock. Because see, my birth is lap of nature, and I'm bring to nature to me in the concrete of the jungle, and that concrete of the jungle is become a really problematic for me, because because my whole life, then I realized that I'm born in such a lovely place, and I'm now placed in where which is completely jungle of concrete, and the very materialistic world. And even though I'm crisis in my money also, because that time I remember my Gari scholarship is giving me 3,000 rupees. My house rent is around 2,000 rupees. So survival also equally a big task, because I don't want to compromise my life with any job. Because in my beginning my career, I'm very focused on my work. See, if any doctors, any engineers, if they survive with their own professions, then why not artists? So I am never looking for any job in my beginning my career, because if I going for job, so I am quite well qualified for any of the job, because I acquire a lot of technical knowledge in my own academic time. So, but I am quite static on my part, because I am very much concentrated on my own career. But even though that struggle, because like Delhi ke andar, because Delhi is not as a visual, the climate, by interact with the people, and everything has become very clumsy. You can see in my 2003 and 2004, I am having a lot of homesickness in my, psychologically. So how I'm come up with those homesickness. I painted my village on the canvas. So literally, I am living in my own space and own village, and once I painted finished, so that time I feel मैं अपने घर और अपने गांव घूम के आ चुका हूँ. Then after within 2 years, I'm quite used to it, the Delhi, and I'll start loving Delhi. And Gadi also is a wonderful place that time, because a lot of friends and a lot of other people also there, and we are spending time from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So if you're talking about if my 2005, I remember the Barakhamba road पे मैं DTDC बस से मैं जा रहा था towards Connaught Place. So I saw in the left hand side of the building, there's one glass facer building, and that building and another building is reflected on the glass facer के जो mirror है उसमें reflection हो रहा है. And I'm excited because I'm I remember तो those times I don't have camera. आज के डेट पे मोबाइल पे कैमरे होते हैं, पर मैंने क्या किया, तुरंत मैंने उसको ड्राइंग स्केचबुक निकाल के मैंने ड्राइंग किया. और वो इंस्पिरेशंस मेरे लाइफ में इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग इंस्पिरेशंस थी कि मैंने आके तुरंत उसी तरह से पेंटिंग करना शुरू किया, बिकॉज दैट इज द ट्रू फिलोसफी आई कैन फिगर आउट फ्रॉम दैट रिफ्लेक्शंस. द फ्रॉम चाइल्डहुड वी आर हर्ड अबाउट कि द मिरर नेवर टेलिंग लाई, बट हियर द मिरर इज टेलिंग कंप्लीट लाई, बिकॉज द ऑपोजिट बिल्डिंग इज परफेक्टली ऑल राइट in his own positions. Then I realized, so that means that is a society. That means one individual glass is a reflection of every individual or individual space. So we are in the society, every individual having their own perception, own position, own everything. And that become a story for the society. Then that philosophy, when that philosophy evolved through this image, I say, wow, that is my coach. Because being an artist, we are always looking for our own style. And during those times, I'm really struggling for my own style even. So that is the style I can find out my own style. And then I pursue these styles into different manner. Then, my world is different, because then, I'm seeing people, non-living objects, it become a living object for me. If I see, the perspective of person, if any beggars in the road, what are the life behind these beggars, how the beggars is thinking towards the world, how these rich people thinking on the world, how this rat, and in the Gadi, there's a lot of squirrels around, lot of other, so squirrels, and I'm using a lot of squirrels, the white rat, butterfly, these are always I'm using in my work as a metaphor. And you are talking about the dancing omen and dancing couple. So dancing couple, you can see these dancing paintings, there is a two rat in the bottom. So that two rat is basically is a common people. And I remember this is timing around 2007 painting. So 2007 is a boom, those times is a boom area in India art market. Very often we are used to go to a lot of parties and all. So I can see, that there's a two perspective of life. One is this perspective, another perspective. So I'm trying to juxtapose both the perspective, one canvas. And always I'm trying to be very honest to my viewers through my works. Always I'm, bringing whatever my own experience. Because being an artist, I believe one more thing is our time. because what time we born and what time we are working, that time relevance to work is very important. So that is always I'm keep in my mind, and I'm always using that. So that is my whole journey.
Very interesting things are coming out of this conversation. First of all, आपका जो रुझान towards reflections, वो जो आपका reflection से fascination है, वो अभी आपका जो later work है, आपका जो metal sphere, steel spheres के साथ है, highly reflective. The surfaces you are using. I think that fascination is like being used in a very artistic way again and again by you. Also, जैसे आपका एक बहुत futuristic style है of art, maybe a kind of postmodern digital aesthetics that you are doing. तो इस सारा I can see कि आपका पूरा progression इसकी तरफ slowly and steadily move कर रहा है. But before that, there was an exhibition which was sold out. ललित कला में हुई थी. That was your paintings exhibition.
Yeah, this is my painting exhibitions, because when I began my career in Delhi, so because I'm trained as a painter, so I'm doing painting only, because I never think on कि मैं उस टाइम में सोच भी नहीं पाता था कि मैं कभी sculpture करूँगा, very honestly, because but yeah, simultaneously I'm doing my painting and I'm doing my digital art also. I'm practicing my digital art since 2002. So, simultaneously both the things I'm doing. So, most of the time in the Gadi studio, I do paint, and other times I'm using into my own digital art, making digital art. Although digital art having no market, but even though I have a love for digital, so I do regularly. So, you can see in my digital journey, because both the journey going parallel. So, I'm doing painting and my digital art going parallel. So this digital art is leading towards my installation. Basically, if you see closely to my digital art is basically nothing is an installation plan, because this is completely three-dimensional objects, which is normally on the print, but you can figure out this is a three-dimensional.
आपका एक था work, The Inner Quest, I think. उसमें आपने सबसे पहले आपका जो iconic figure है, with the hat, आपने अपने आप को प्रोजेक्ट किया उस within 2D, and that became an installation within a year. And after 3-4 years, I think it won the Praful Dhanukar Award.
Yeah. After so that work is 2009. So मैंने 2006 से I'm using my own figure on that work. Basically मेरी खुद की images में, अपनी digital art में और मेरी paintings में मैं use करना शुरू कर दिया था. तो then 2009 में वन आर्ट कॉन्वर्जन ने इस आर्टवर्क को एक्वायर किया और उन्होंने मुझे रिक्वेस्ट किया कि आप मेरे लिए, मेरी फार्म हाउस बन रहा है उस पर आप मेरे लिए एक इंस्टॉलेशन बना दो. एंड दैट इज द फर्स्ट पॉइंट इन 2010 आई एम कन्वर्टेड माई own digital art into stainless steel installation, and that installation size is around 24 feet by 17 feet.
Wow.
It's not a small. So that way I'm really fortunate, because someone sponsored me and supported me for making my first three-dimensional sculpture, or say wall mural. And after 2 years, he got confident and he gave me another one for that, another sculpture. So that spherical shapes evolved.
The Mystery of Life.
Mystery of Life series evolved from there only.
Can you tell us about the Mystery of Life?
Around 2012, one day he has invited me for sculpture. So I just experiencing his own space, because this is a farmhouse. So there I can see there's a lot of squirrels, birds, and other the habitats are roaming around. Then I realized कि okay, my art connoisseur or my art collectors, he only looking for something beautiful piece for his house. But I, being an artist, I have some role of duties for my habitat also. So then, I evolved its shape. It's a spherical, rounded house. So, my Mystery of Life is basically is a house. मतलब एक जगह पे compile करते हुए, that a lot of houses in one places. Around 14 feet or 15 feet height पे मैंने किया था उसको. So basically, this is creating an alternate space for my habitat. During those days also, I'm also thinking about nature. I'm, the nature also, affecting me, because I can experiencing nature. So मुझे लगा कि nature को भी हमें कहीं पे protect करना चाहिए, because being an artist, somewhere, I have to drive some message through my works to the people. If I am able to convince one person in my own career So that is, I think my achievement will be 100%. Okay, so that is the whole intentions, and I'm now start making that sculpture.
आपका एक जो एकदम वो mystery of life, it is shaped in the form of a tree.
Yeah.
And wo, it's a very interesting combination, tree and stainless metal balls, and you think that they are like globes, each and every one self-sufficient, and still, you know, part of this one big tree.
Yeah.
So that was,
You know, the mystery of life. So जब मैंने इस stainless steel के sculptures को मैंने तैयार करना शुरू किया, तो that times I use my 10+2, you know, then my physics, because I'm pure PCM student. So physics, chemistry, and maths is one of my favorite subjects. So I use a lot of physics on my work. So my works, you know, the stainless steel sculpture is basically is a completely aerodynamic. So the aerodynamic theory, and one more thing is the single spherical house compiled together it become a complete chunk of huge tree. And you know, I'm also study the tree character of the tree, because my sculpture, you know, is a very kinetic in nature. Lot of people think my sculpture is very static. It's not, because if there is a wind flow, so my sculpture is moved like that. And that is the character, because my whole direct inspiration from the tree, because that way the tree wind को जैसे response करता है, तो उसी तरह से मैंने अपने sculpture को भी उसी तरह से मैंने build किया. So that way, you know, I create my whole sculpture, and I am sitting in my sculpture in different positions. So that is also another interesting part in my work, which is I'm not realized, but
everyone associates, we want to find that figure now in your work. You had a solo show in Dhumimal. This was, I think, about a year back. उसमें आपने अपना particularly ये जो stainless steel spheres के साथ आपने installations and sculptures ये सब आपने present किए थे. Would you like to say something about it?
Yeah, that in 2021 and December to March to 2022 तक ये exhibition चला, and definitely that exhibition is one of the most important exhibition in my own career, because उस exhibitions के लिए एक तो मेरी planning थी last 4-5 years की works, जो मैं बिल्कुल ही hidden रखा था, और मैंने उस exhibitions पे इसको मैंने ओपन किया था लोगों के लिए. तो एंड दैट एग्जीबिशंस के अंदर मेरे अदर फॉर्म्स ऑफ वर्क्स थे, जैसे यू नो द वुडन पीसेस. सो इफ यू सी माय वुडन वर्क्स, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ वुडन पीसेस. बेसिकली दीज आर ऑल skyscrapers, million of skyscrapers on the globe, basically in a whole concept, in a whole ideas coming to my mind with the world populations. I remember in 2017 or 16, the Laureate University organized one seminar in ITC Moria. So they are quite happy with their world population, because world population is 2 billion in 100 years ago, and within 100 years we are close to 8 billion. So being an artist now is a very shocking for me actually, because the reason is अगर इसी तरह से हमारा ग्रो हुआ 100 साल के अंदर हम लोग 4 times डबल हो चुके हैं. अगर हम लोग सेम मैनर में चल रहे हैं, तो that means another 100 years we are close to 30 billion. You know, that earth is not capable to take to that weight, because everyone needs that. So you know, then I evolved, and then I developed that form. Along with my spherical house, I developed that whole, you know, globe with the skyscraper, because everyone looking for shelter, everyone looking for 4 wall. So that 4 wall is really, you know, important for every individual. So that is really scary part. So that way, you know, bring to my work. So that is also another aspect, and sustainability and everything that is my prime focus to my exhibitions. And that exhibition went really good. Dhumimal Art Gallery and Uday Jain very openly he supported me, and he, you know, he's never interfered into my display. So most interesting part of my solo exhibition is entire show is curated by me, and all the artworks designed according to the space, which is actually installation is required. Installation means always site specific work, and that space and that time provided by an Uday, and that is the really important. That's why whoever come for that exhibition, they can feel it that works made for that corner only. So
Absolutely. In fact, हम एक चीज़ बात करना भूल गए जो मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग लगती है, वो है किस तरह से 2D से आप 3D पे गए. So when I saw your earlier paintings and work, and I see the spherical object forming, And from that 2D, you converted it into 3D.
Yeah.
So that was something which I found very interesting. But I want to talk about one more thing, which is your installation, Mystery of the Seven, which was presented in Portugal.
Portugal,
Yes.
yeah. I created over there in 2017. Yeah, that exhibition is really interesting because, that exhibition's organizer, that gallery owner and that organizer from the Portugal, she, invited me for that exhibition. They already decided that exhibition title, that is Spirit of India. And she knocked my door and just in 1 month ago. So I have a 15 days time to prepare my show for the space 30 meter by 30 meter by 30 meter.
Oh God.
In foreign land. And in the beginning of the days, I remember I don't want to lose those opportunity. And I literally don't know what I'm going to make. And the challenges also. I remember whole night, every day, I'm thinking, brainstorming, and then I come up with Mystery of Seven. So, the Mystery of Seven, once I study and go through this detailed study, because the Spirit of India, and my installation title is Mystery of Seven. So I'm, using cosmic energy. For our example, our sun. Sun is sounding Om. When I got to know, when I go through NASA's site, so NASA recorded sound of sun is a Om. And our temple bell, when we hit on the bell, so our bell also made with 7 alloys.
Yes.
And that is also sounding Om. And that is also, touching our 7 chakras. And after 7 chakras, the person, whoever touched the bell, or after bell ki sound ke baad, that person is become in zero mein chale aate hain, and that next moment the God in front of that person. Basically, that bell itself is such a purest one, which is purified from your inside. So basically, when you are in front of any of the God, that is the purest moment. Whatever you conversation with your God, that is the purest moment. And that is how nicely designed. Then I go through Western philosophy also. There are a lot of 7. So, then I feel, wow, everywhere is the mystery of 7. So then I'll bring all sort of things here. And then that installation is basically, drive to 5 senses. Not only visuals. Now you can see the image with the visual part only. But my real installation with sound, aroma, that taste and everything, all the 5 senses. Basically, I am catered to all the 5 senses. So that was a wonderful experience being an artist.
And the installation was like completely amazing. Aapne threads use kari, you painted on cloth, the threads were coming out like it's the rays of the sun.
Yes,
you used sandalwood, the smell of sandalwood was coming, and then the Om, which was also playing.
The Om sound is not the Om sound. I'm just giving instruction to the sound engineers. The people will not able to recognize there is a sound when they enter. The sound should be connected to the heart. Sound cannot be go through these ears. So how beautifully they understand. The sound engineers, he worked with me around 3 days. Once we are put, I'm sure that what I need, that he is capable to deliver. जब तक उसको लगा कि मैं बिल्कुल satisfy हो चुका हूँ, तब वो छोड़ के गया. If it is happening in India, तो लोग मुझे यहाँ पे बोलते हैं, सर इससे आगे नहीं हो सकता. मतलब artists need to compromise, but here, they are never compromise in any point, because they say जब तक आप satisfied नहीं हो, तब तक हम काम करेंगे. So that's why that is the another reason for that installations connect to the people, connect to the viewers. And surprisingly, that is my first non-permanent installation sold out in Europe. I'm surprised because within 1 घंटा पहले ही मुझे गैलरी उन्होंने बोला कि Shovin, your works is sold out. So ये
amazing.
Yeah, that is really an amazing experience.
Shovin, we are extremely excited about one thing today. Today, Chaibrary is going to be the first one to preview your latest work, which has still not been opened, and it's going to be a kind of curtain raiser. It's called The Eye of the Future. And we are very happy that it is called the Eye of the Future. It's a fantastic installation, and Shovin, we would like you to tell us something about it.
Yeah, this sculptures is very interesting sculpture, and this sculptures, this is completely kinetic and AI based sculpture. This is my first sculpture. See, I'm telling you that my journey is such like that. I'm always trying to evolve and try to bring something new to the world. And definitely that what art collectors, art collectors helped me for this, because that sculpture is not a 1 or 2 rupees sculpture. This is really quite big money is involved into this work. But that works, this sculpture is not easy, because initially I designed and whole mechanical part resolved by me. I never hire any mechanical engineer with me. There's no electrical engineer, everything resolved by myself only, and me and my team. So usually, the normal static sculptures create karna, or normal static sculpture, I feel quite simple as compared to the kinetic one, because the static sculptures we are only working on the outer, only visual part. Once your visual part is over, then is over. But the kinetic one, you have to work inside the sculpture, because the whole mechanism and lot of things you have to do it inside. So lot of challenges when I started this sculpture, because initial struggle was the center part of the sculpture. That is quite big and no one willing to manufacture that size. So we are manufactured this in our own house. So इसमें हमें बहुत struggle करना पड़ा. तो ये struggle के बाद क्या हुआ कि इस installations के आप जब देखोगे installations को, there's a 2 circle. One is clockwise and one is anti-clockwise. So clockwise के बाहर एक portions आ रहा. So मुझे इस center से, मुझे इस वाले piece को मुझे हिलाना नहीं है. This portion only move. And the problem is हमें समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि हम इसको कैसे resolve करें. And lastly जब ये हुआ कि we have only 5 mm space, within 5 mm space के अंदर से हमारे को 5 wires को हमें pass on करना था, and which is normally impossible. और last stage पे हम फिर से newly design नहीं कर सकते, कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. Then we resolve in that way कि हम लोगों ने दोबारा manufacture करा खुद से wire. वहाँ पे वायर्स जो मार्केट में जो मिलती है उसके लेके हमने खुद वायर्स डेवलप किए कि उस वायर्स के अंदर हम किसी भी तरह 5 mm के अंदर इसको हमें फिट कर दें. तो हम लोगों ने चाहे मतलब किसी भी तरह से हमने कर दिया. We are successful in that way. But that is also another challenge, because we are not able to show whether we are capable or not. मतलब हमारे से होएगा या नहीं होएगा. So by the way, end of the day done it. So the sculpture is functioning very well.
And the visuals are stunning, absolutely stunning. With the lights and the kinetics and the motion.
Yes. What is most interesting part is this sculpture is like in Delhi season. Every 2 months there is a different season. You can experience this sculpture in the day, in all the light. In every light of the day is, giving you different experience.
Absolutely.
So because of that reflection quality and all.
We are very happy that Chaibrary viewers are going to see this installation.
Yes, this is first time going to reveal on the Chaibrary, and this is going to be public. That's true.
Before we end, Shovin, there are 1 or 2 things that we want to ask you. What is art for you?
See, art is life for me, because even me and my wife is Shovin Bhattacharjee, she also an artist. I always consider we are 2 artist friends living together. And in my house, from morning to still to bed, we are into art. Art is basically the way your life. Art is basically, like Picasso, say कि every child born is an artist. Over the year, हम उस artist को spoil कर देते हैं. Art is exactly same. Art is basically a part of our life and part of our nature, part of everything. बात वही है कि मैं उस आर्ट को एक स्कल्पचर के थ्रू और या अपनी किसी भी मीडियम के थ्रू एक्सप्रेस कर रहा हूँ. एक राइटर उसको दूसरी तरह एक्सप्रेस करता है. एक होम मेकर उसी नेचर को एक बढ़िया सा फूड में कन्वर्ट करके उसको, बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ देम आर कैटर्ड टू द वर्ल्ड and catered to the society. So according to my way of thinking, that every individual is artist in their own space, because every individual is important.
Well said. Finally, a few words on Chaibrary.
Chaibrary is again, Chaibrary also is here, और Chaibrary इस तरह के प्लेटफॉर्म बना इसलिए कि एक आर्टिस्ट ही है उसके पीछे, और इसलिए मैं आर्टिस्ट बोलता हूँ क्योंकि चायबेरी इज नॉट स्टार्टेड विथ इंटेंशन टू मेकिंग मनी द वे द आर्टिस्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग आर्ट, बिकॉज व्हेन वी आर डूइंग प्रैक्टिसिंग आर्ट, सो वी आर ओनली प्रैक्टिसिंग आर्ट, वी नेवर थिंक फॉर मनी. So Chaibrary also exactly same. So Chaibrary is the one of the honest channels, and that channel is providing a wonderful space for any performing artist who anywhere in the world of art, and providing a lot of information and knowledge. And Chaibrary will be going to be a great archive in their own time, and I'm sure within 10 years Chaibrary will be in different stage.
So thank you so much for being with us, and we wish you all the very best. May you win more awards, and may you become absolutely one of the most famous international artists, may I say. With that, we come to the end of this edition of Chaibrary. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We are very, very glad and happy for your love and support. Please press the bell icon for latest updates. This is Jyoti Kathpalia signing off the sets of Chaibrary. Bye bye and namaskar.